Yes, it's time for another edition of Learn Burn. Here we go. Okay, this is the segment where we each teach each other something and we keep our topic secret so that we make sure that everyone learns something, okay? So I'm really looking for honesty on the panel. Amir, tell us something that you learned.
Okay, so I learned the true purpose of Solitaire, Minesweeper, Free Cell, and Hearts on the computer. You know, like those games on the computer that they all come with?
Yes.
And like your dads are usually really good at it.
Or Amir.
Or no, I never like to play these games. But I didn't know this, but when they first like rolled them out in 1990, Solitaire was actually made not just like as like, oh, we want to add games to this, but as a way to teach people how to drag and drop. Because before that, like using mice wasn't like a really big thing before 1990. It was more like you would put it in the command. So like they added mice and they wanted people to like get good at it. Minesweeper, the same thing.
Can you say mouse? Like, it's weird when you say mice.
Okay,
so that's plural.
The mice, okay, now you're confusing me, but so Minesweeper was the same thing. They got it because left clicking and right clicking. They wanted to teach people that these are these things. So after that, they also started rolling out the game Hearts, which is like
Hearts.
You like Hearts?
Yeah.
So they rolled that out when they first started adding network capabilities to computers. And you could play on a local network. So Hearts was like a game to like kind of showcase that new hardware. And finally, Free Cell was also
Free Cell.
That was like my dad's favorite game.
Yeah,
This
my
is
grandfather's so good at Free Cell.
Yeah, so they rolled that out to actually to show the 32-bit thunking layer, a data processing subsystem, which had been introduced as a part of Windows 32.
What about
systems back
Spider
then.
Solitaire? Why is that there?
I don't know.
At that point,
That's
that
a
was like
great
fun.
question, and I didn't even think about that.
That came out in like the 2000s though.
My grandfather has a computer only for Free Cell and Spider Solitaire and Facebook, but then he hated Facebook, so.
I thought this was really interesting though, that like there was actually like a hidden purpose to adding these games, is like to train people.
Yeah, sneaky.
Yeah, just like they created Metal Gear Solid to teach the youth about the military-industrial complex.
Yep,
That's
just
why
like that,
why
Ross.
you do what you do today.
Yeah,
Just like that.
I'm serious. Hideo Kojima played a big part in my upbringing and understanding of global politics.
Darren, tell us something you learned this week.
Okay, you guys, I'm really excited to talk to you about Ötzi the Iceman. Now, you guys probably already know a lot about him. He was discovered in 1991 in the Eastern Alps. He's about 5,300 years old. In previous studies, he had a CT scan of his heart done that showed areas of calcification. They found that he was beaten and died by being shot with an arrow.
Whoa.
They dated him to be about 46 years old at the time of his death. There were parasites in his gut, but in a recent study, they've actually found out what his last meal was before he died. Let's see, so researchers at the
I didn't mean to
Urac
say
Research
that.
Center in Italy examined his stomach for specific DNA, proteins, fats, and carbs, and using light microscopy, which basically is just a microscope with light coming up out of the bottom to see, what the substance is made of. They could see fibrous structures of meat and fern, and they found out that his last meal was game meat from an ibex, a red deer, and he also had traces of toxic bracken ferns. Now they were wondering why he might have eaten the toxic fern, and as I mentioned in the previous studies, he actually had parasites in his stomach, which probably would have caused a lot of intestinal disturbances. So they thought that maybe he ate the toxic bracken to kind of help with that, to make himself feel a little bit better. So I just thought that was extremely cool because he's been studied extensively, but they're still finding out new things about this dude.
He was also really short too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
You know what?
Yeah.
Why do you have to crochet to him?
why do you have to
like,
He was already murdered.
He lived until he was pretty old for back then, I'd say, like 46.
Yeah.
That's incredible. I love this story.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
he
pretty
was
cool.
a thick boy. All I'm thinking while you're talking about this science mumbo jumbo is, can I drink his red goo?
Stop
Okay,
it.
This is a different story.
It's a different
stop.
case.
Whenever prehistoric things are unveiled, I'm always like, what's happening? Can I put it in my body somehow?
Okay.
That's where my thought goes to first. Speaking of thoughts, I believe it's my
Yeah,
time to
tell
shine
us
now.
Your
Okay.
turn, Hasan.
Let's do it. All right. So today we're going to be talking on my Learn Burn about something very light. It's about defeating fascism. Now in the 1940s,
my gosh.
Superman used to beat Nazis, but after the Nazis were fully beaten, they were looking for a new villain. So Superman Radio was a very popular radio show at the time because there was no internet, so children were forced to listen to this antiquated medium. They were looking for a new villain, so they decided to turn their crosshairs to the KKK, where the Man of Steel, in a 16-part series, defeated and exposed the secrets of the Ku Klux Klan, a 16-episode series titled Clan of the Fiery Cross, where the writers pitted the Man of Steel against the men in white hoods. Wow. Apparently, that this was so embarrassing for the KKK that their recruitment dropped down to 0, and people were attending the rallies just to mock them. The reason why I'm talking about this, of course, is because like I think culture is downstream of politics, as Steve Bannon says, but also there are good and smart ways to expose the idiots and racists in our society and successfully defeat their ideas.
I hope the executives at DC are watching, because maybe we need just like Ben Affleck to beat up some KKK members in the new Batman movie, and we could be in a better place as a country.
That's cool. I wish it was still that easy to just influence culture and politics. It's really not. People are so nihilistic and cynical now. And
also, like, even when Wolfenstein attacked Nazis and KKK, people were mad. There were people that were angry at the game for fighting the KKK and Nazis.
They're like, oh, this is an SJW game.
Yeah.
Because like that's what it means to hate Nazis now. It means you're an SJW.
I'm ready for my learn burn now.
We are.
Okay,
Let's
Tell us about owls and ways to die.
Did you look at my learn burn?
That's cheating, Hasan.
No, I
Okay.
didn't. I just
Well, back to me. A few weeks ago, I told you about owls. We ran out of time, so here are more things about owls and the dangers of owls to keep you safe.
I love owls.
Are you serious?
Owls, the eyes of owls are not true eyeballs. Their tube-shaped eyes are completely immobile, providing binocular vision which fully focuses on prey and boosts depth perception. Also, a group of owls is called a parliament. This originates from C.S. Lewis's description of a meeting of owls in the Chronicles of Narnia, which I'm sure you are all familiar with. And here's something that you need to know. Owls hunt other owls. The great horned owls are the top predator of the smaller barred owls, which are the owls that I mentioned last go around, that are the ones that will hunt you and you won't hear it coming. I also have a video on owls. I wonder if we can toss to that. And if we can't, that's also fine. I'm okay to talk. I think they're actually playing it right now on B-roll. There is sound that I wanted people to learn, but if we don't have it with sound, that's okay. We're gonna show you the video.
Hunt under the cover of darkness. They're sneaky. She has incredibly powerful night vision, and she can zero in on the location of even the smallest noise. Air rushes over her wings as she flies. In most birds, that's noisy, but with owls, there's almost no flapping sound, no rustling. It's quiet. Up close, you can see how she does it. Her feathers are velvety, soft. That furriness lets the feathers slip quietly past each other during flight, dampen sound like a soft blanket.
First I was terrified of owls and now I want to have sex with them.
No, you don't. Remember,
are owls even birds, Grace?
Yes, they are. They're
what
birds.
Are they?
And they're deadlier than most birds, I think.
I thought that my spirit animal was an owl because I keep seeing owls in LA. They'll just like fly right in front of me. But is that good or bad now?
They're trying to get you.
No, they're not trying to get me.
You're an owl.
They're my
an owl.
spirit guide, okay?
You're an owl. Everyone who thinks Grace an owl.
No one takes this
I
seriously.
think Grace is an owl.
For
Guys,
sure.
we only have.
Trying to throw off
Again,
the
we're out of
scent.
time. I have so much
so
more I want to say
owl-like.
about owls.
Predator.
We
Trying to
have
throw off
to
the scent
go.
by
We'll see you next
vilifying
time
owls.
on Pop Trigger.